Now, your mother's deceased now, but her name was Carol Pierce?
Yes.
And my understanding is that your mother Carol was at Shoppers Drug Mart to get basically her booster shot?
Yes.
And can you tell us what your experience of that was?
Well, my mom was visiting me at my house that day, and she had asked me if I would go with her to get the booster shot, and I had begged her not to get it and told her that I believe it was giving me seizures. And she said she wanted to get it because she felt she needed to keep up with the Joneses, and she just felt like it was something she had to do to keep everybody safe. And so she went, and I had given her a birthday present that day, an early birthday present, and she was supposed to come back after her shot. So she left, and when she was at Shoppers, right after she got the shot, she texted me and told me she was waiting her 15 minutes. And I said, good job. And then I think it was about 7 minutes later, she died.
What's the next thing that happened with you? So, because your mother obviously stopped texting, how did you find out that there was something wrong?
My brother phoned me, and he told me, this was about 45 minutes after my mom left my house. My brother phoned me and said, Mom's in an ambulance, and the ambulance driver said, get to the hospital and expect the worst. And my brother said he's on his way to pick me up. And I just started screaming, no, this isn't right. And they picked me up, and all the way to the hospital, I prayed to God that she was alive. Then I got to the hospital, and right away I asked them, I want to go see my mom, and they wouldn't let me in. And they kept telling me I had to wait, and I just didn't understand why I had to wait. And they told me I had to wait for a social worker. So I didn't understand, because I thought, a nurse would just come and bring me to her. So I just had a feeling right then that something wasn't right. So finally a social worker came and took us into this room and told me that a doctor was going to come and talk to us. So I just had a feeling right then that it wasn't good. And so I couldn't stop crying. And 2 doctors came into the room. All I heard was the one doctor said, she's gone. I didn't hear anything else of what the doctor's saying, because my mind just blacked out. I just started crying hysterically. And I just said, I want to see my mom. So a lady took me to see my mom. And I just laid there with my mom. And I kept telling her to wake up. She wouldn't wake up. And then the doctor said I could stay with her until the coroner came. And then the coroner came, and she sat beside me, and I kept saying, I was screaming out loud to the doctors, to the coroner, to everybody, saying, the shot killed my mom. The shot killed my mom. Like, there was no way the shot did not kill my mom. My mom was healthy. She was super healthy. There was no health problems with my mom at all. When she left my house that day, she was perfectly fine. And then she got that shot. And then she died. 7 minutes after, she died. And I see her in the hospital right after, and she was gone. And so I kept telling them, it was the shot, it was the shot. And the coroner hadn't even looked at my mom, hadn't even touched my mom. She just sat there right beside me in the chair. And I said, no, it's the shot. And the coroner said, no, it's natural causes. And I knew right then, you're lying to me. There's no way you know that.
Sorry, I turned my mic off. There's actually video footage of your mother coming to your house that day and then leaving that day.
Yes.
Just because your neighbor has a security camera that's motion sensor.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just going to find those. And so, David, can it be set up so that my computer is showing up on the screen? I'm just going to go back to the beginning. So that's your mother there in the red jacket? And so that's her coming to your house that day. And I'm just going to play it again because you've told us that she's healthy, and it looks like she's just walking normally. And now I'm going to play the video of your mother leaving. And so this will just be minutes. This will be on her way to Shoppers Drug Mart. And I'll just play that again. And again, I just want people to watch to see. She appears to be just a healthy, normal person. And so that's what you were describing, is just your mother was a normal, healthy person at the time.
Yeah.
Now, after, excuse me, after this happened, some people reached out to you on Facebook. Am I right about that?
Yes.
And I'm just, David, if you can just pull up my computer screen again. So now you sent me basically a Facebook string, and this is from your phone, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm just going to scroll down. This is actually the text conversation, the last text conversation you had with your mother.
Yeah.
So, so she had texted you on this thing, book your COVID shot and come with me, Shoppers on Herald. And you text back, I don't want another one. And she texts, okay. And then you text, you coming over. And she says, waiting the 15 minutes, LOL. And you say, good job. And she says, thanks. And that's the last communication you ever had with your mother?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to be upsetting you with this, but we so appreciate you sharing. And I'm just going to scroll down a little more because this Wendy Jansen reached out to you on Facebook. And so my understanding is a few people reached out to you on Facebook who, either were there or, had heard about what happened from others who were there.
Yes.
And and I expect there was more conversation than this. But Wendy Jansen writes to you on Facebook, 3 days ago in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, a friend's grown daughter was standing in line with her son at the pharmacy. They saw a long line of people waiting for the needle. A woman received the needle and collapsed immediately. Help arrived quickly and she could not be revived. Everyone else just stayed in the lineup for their turn. And am I correct that you heard that from other sources also, that basically people stayed in line to continue getting the shot?
Yes.
And I'm also going to play, it's difficult to hear, but it's the 911 recording. And Stephanie, you sent me when I clipped the talking before and after, so we're just down to the 911 clip. It's difficult to hear, but I just want to play it because you sent it because they actually refer to the COVID shot as being a cause. So, David, you might have to crank the volume up, but I'm just going to start playing that. And I apologize, everyone, it is a little difficult. Oh. That didn't work, did it? Do you have that 911? That's not the... So we'll let David play it on his system. This one didn't work very well.
On EMS, two Shoppers Drug Mart, 415-year-old 58-year-old female, Buffalo Road, Jackson. There's an 8 on EMS and Shoppers Drug Mart, 415 girls, 450 female, a full of reaction.
Taking any copies, details, email, what we've got, print on. So I'm going to prepare the project.
No copies, details, progress. They're not reading it.
And I'm sorry, Stephanie, I know that it's difficult to hear that. But I thank you for sharing that. So that was at least the paramedics indicating that they believed it was, or reporting that it was the COVID shot. And I appreciate they're not doctors. But yeah, thanks, David. So now something else happened, and that followed afterwards, because this created a bit of a discussion in Saskatoon, because people were concerned about what happened to your mother. And my understanding is, so a couple of days after your mother died, somebody went to the pharmacy with just kind of the intention of seeing how they were going to, respond to questions about your mother. Does that sound right?
Yep.
And you were able to get a copy of this, and you've sent this to us?
Yes.
Okay, so David, I'll ask you to play that. And so just so people understand, this is not Stephanie, this is somebody else who's just decided to go back to the pharmacy and see how they would well, first of all, the first question and answer, listen carefully to, it's really interesting.
Do you guys do COVID shots here?
We do. We don't do walk-ins. It's appointment. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want, I can give you our QR code and you can sign up for an appointment online.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Regarding the safety of it. Have you had any issues recently with anybody?
Yeah, I mean, there is a possibility for side effects.
Like what kind of side effects?
Forearm, fever, that kind of thing.
Okay. I heard that somebody died here 2 days ago.
Oh, we're not
right after
commenting on that. Yeah.
Why? Like,
We're
if
not
I
commenting.
want to get a shot, shouldn't I know these things first?
We're not commenting on that. That's what my manager told us. So.
But when you have to get a medicine, don't you have to let people know that?
That's
The
a
dangers of
patient
it?
privacy issue. I'm not allowed to inform you on that issue.
Okay, I'm gonna hold off because I heard somebody died. So.
No.